Well, Rochelle, it's good to have you with us here.
Good to be here.
Traveling to Florida to attend the ASI meeting,
Yes.
I ran into so many people and asking me, what's going on in Loma, London? We hear about big building projects. I mean, LLBN has its own building project. The church have a building project. But then also Loma University Health
Yes.
has greater vision.
We do.
Oh, what is Vision 2020 and what a name for that?
Well, you know, it's one of the situations where you're forced to do something that really wasn't in the plan, but due to state seismic requirements or earthquake requirements, because Loma Linda serves 27% of the land mass of California for level 1 trauma for both pediatric and adult. They needed a hospital in our category to be able to stand and operate like an 8.0 earthquake, which means and effectively that the towers and things that were built originally, which were state-of-the-art when they were built, does not meet that requirement to serve the population that we have to with the level of care that we provide. So that's what initiated the campus transformation and the Vision 2020 project. So we've been in that project for a few years now.
Who came up with that name? What a great name for a project of that large vision.
Well, it really was a name that was came up with and by a group and voted by the board because it was a vision that actually had to occur that was going to be transformational to Loma Linda. And 2020 was the time frame that the state said it has to be completed by this date because we can no longer use the towers after that time for inpatient use. Now, it's not that the towers are unsafe, but to meet the new seismic requirements, we certainly will have to look at it a little bit differently and to have that new facility available for use. And since the hospital is really our clinical laboratory for our schools to be able to teach and practice, etc., it was vital that we do this. And certainly, given the economy, we wouldn't have just chosen to have this type of a campaign right now. But, you know, the Lord has been behind Loma Linda for many, many years and has provided many blessings in the past, and that's what's happening again. So the stories will be told in the future of history when this happened, and the Lord will get incredible glory because He has done amazing things.
Absolutely. You see God's hand in this, obviously, because I heard you mentioning that several times, but it doesn't come without challenges.
Yes.
What are some of the big challenges you're running into?
Well, I think being in the area that we're in, I mean, our philanthropic goal for Vision 2020 is $366 million, and the largest campaign in history was just over $50 million for the Centennial Complex, and to have that big of an increase at a time where the economy is going through a challenge is difficult. And there's multiple competing things going on where people want to be involved and need to be involved.
Right.
So, you know, we've been very, very pleased to be where we are. As a matter of fact, we, as the end of June, just passed $295 million towards that 366. Thank you. The Lord's really blessed. And additional philanthropy beyond that has brought us to over 330 total philanthropy since we started Vision 2020. So it's very encouraging and very exciting to see where things are going.
It is indeed.
Another challenge that we've had is really explaining why and how this is happening, because the total project obviously is a very expensive project, over $1 billion. And we have a philanthropic goal. Certainly there's bond financing that will do that, operational gains, so the hospital is looking in, well, the whole system is looking at intentionality and finance management. And we also have been the recipients of 2 bonds through the state of California for the Children's Hospital, specifically at $165 million that we're slated to receive. So the combination of all those is what will make this a reality. And again, God's blessings to get there, but it has been a challenge to bring all that together. We've been very fortunate, though, with alumni getting engaged and community. We've seen the community get engaged in ways as never before. And they're involved with the Children's Hospital and different projects, children donating their birthday clubs, etc. So it's just been from very small gifts to lemonade stands to significant sacrificial gifts where people realize that they're creating the future for us to be able to have a place to heal, educate, and do research for this community and for the broader world and the influence that Loma Linda is blessed to have.
You just hit on two key issues, the healing and the teaching. You know, you are producing so many physicians, right, from Loma Linda, going out into the world to heal others and take care of others while they also minister.
That's right.
So what a healing, teaching, but also it's a preaching almost. It's a ministry. It's an outreach as well.
Absolutely.
And I know Loma Linda has that touch internally on the campus. Talk to us a little bit about the spirituality of our campus.
Oh, it's really a very, very special place. And with having the 8 mainly professional graduate level schools, people coming from different disciplines and backgrounds, but really with an intentionality of spirituality at the core of that education. Because there's importance to give just great care, but to do that care sensitively and from a perspective of looking at spirituality as a part of that healing is just vital. And certainly it's our physicians, our nurses, our physical therapists, our pharmacists, etc., where you want people to understand the importance of spirituality and healing, and that's a big part of our curriculum. As a matter of fact, Randy Roberts and Carla Gober and team have really created a spiritual plan for the campus. Very exciting plan. Not that hasn't been and will always be a part of our intentionality, but that plan is very specific into how to integrate in each thing we do, whether it's in the research building, in the library, in the classroom, or on the unit, to where spirituality and spiritual care and wholeness is a part of the basis of healing and in the part of the basis of healthy healing life. And frankly, that's unique at that level, to have that as an integrated part of learning, and turning out thousands of professionals that will go serve around the world, frankly. And that's what's so fun of being here at ASI and other places, is seeing our wonderful alumni and families and the legacy that education and training, because you go to many of these local churches and you find, and schools, and you find our alumni are the cornerstone behind the local church and school. And I like to believe, in part, at least in talking with them, it's been their experience at Loma Linda, where it was so important to involve that spirituality and take that back to the local community. That you see that living out in action all over the country and internationally, and that's such a blessing to be just a teeny part of that.
It is. And as an employee working for the medical center, there's another dimension that I discovered that it's a beautiful component or dimension of Loma Linda campus, is the inner reach for the employees also.
Yes.
There's always spiritual activities going on campus, but also we have the freedom to worship our Creator. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, we have over 70 different faiths that are represented on our campus, and what a beautiful way to be able to share.
Did you say 70, as in 70?
Yes, over 70.
That's very
broad. It is, and it's incredible, because what it is people who come together who respect the values that Loma Linda has as a Seventh-day Adventist institution, and they say this is something that's meaningful to us, and they resonate that within their own spiritual faith base, and are able to live that out in a very personal and meaningful way. And I like to think that we don't know what the impact of that is in all those situations long term, but we do know they have exposure and experience in a very meaningful and personal way, and the ability to then go out and share that with others and make that a part of their education is a valuable asset. And we are so blessed to have that diversity of thought that comes in and then helps strengthen, so that we're able to address patients and their varied interests and needs and their families and the different situations that they come from in a very personal way.
With all that being said, surely you must, in your mind, see the parallel between the times when Ellen White had the vision for Loma Linda.
Absolutely.
And what's going on for Vision 2020.
Absolutely.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yes, and my office sits right outside of Founders Plaza, and so I get to see the story every day, and as I watch people walk by and patients walk by and students walk by, and they read the history and the story there of that amazing $5,000 gift that came in right when it was necessary. And it's very humbling when you look back at the history. And we're seeing those same types of things happen nowadays, and particularly in Vision 2020, where our lead gift was by a non-Adventist family who had been business people in the community and felt very motivated to give back and to make a difference for that community, and they had great respect and love for what the Adventist Church was doing through Loma Linda. And they made that an intentional choice. And you know, that $100 million lead gift was phenomenal to start out. And they could have gotten it anywhere, but they chose. And you know, that, the Lord gets credit for that. And there's been many things since then that the history will tell of amazing things that occurred, just like that original $5,000 gift that came in the nick of time. And the exciting part about it is many, many people are a part of it. The Lord gets the glory for all of it. And it's incredibly exciting to see it being coming together as it is, and in incredible timing.
Well, obviously God choosing his agents, for lack of better words, and bringing them all to Loma Linda to fulfill the roles that needed, from your role to many others, to make Loma Linda what it is.
That's right. It's a great team.
Vision 2020.
Yes.
It's coming up.
Yes.
What's beyond that? Is
Well,
there
you know,
another vision?
Oh,
2030,
there
50?
will be new things to come. And, you know, one of the things people often don't think about when they think about Vision 2020 is they think about the towers and the hospitals. Right. And that's $225 million of that 366. And so those are a critical part. The university also has a significant, over $100 million have been raised to date for the university for scholarships, faculty enhancements, and research, which are vital for what that provides to the world church. And as we're thinking about what comes next, it's looking at, once we get those the towers built and those things, and we continue to establish what we're doing on the university side, there's many needs that are out there, and prioritizing those and looking at what will make the greatest difference in our mission. And those discussions are underway now. They're not finalized. They have a ways to go. But certainly we want those led by what the Lord is calling us to do, and completing the project before us right now is key, and it's doing well. We're actually a little ahead of schedule or where we would be, or we expected to be philanthropically right now, and again, we'll thank the Lord for that, but very encouraged, very encouraged.
Well, you should be, and I know none of this comes without a lot of hard work and sacrifices by you and the teams and the folks who are dedicating their life to make this happen. It's not just happening by coincidence.
No, it's a big team, and you know, it's just like LLBN. It's dedicated people who care passionately about the mission, and that's what we have, is a team who cares passionately, and leaders that get out and share the story and the vision, and are willing to work those long hours and tell the stories, because it's worthwhile, and it's going to make a difference for the long term for Loma Linda and what the Loma Linda does for the world, and it's an honor to be a small part of that.
Yeah. And I want to say you've got a great business running over there, but it's also got a great ministry running on top of that business. And,
absolutely.
We're so delighted and pleased to see what Loma Linda is doing. And obviously the Lord has taken favor in Loma Linda, because we're seeing amazing things coming out of that place.
Yes, and you're right. You know, it has to operate as a business to be successful, but the heart of it is the mission. Right. And you know, that is what everybody works for. It's not the dollars at the end of the day. Those are important for sustainability, but being able to make a difference in our patients' lives, being able to train young people that are going to go out there and represent, you know, the teaching, healing ministry of Jesus Christ in their lives. That and being able to serve is what drives us, and is the privilege.
And finally, those who are intrigued by the vision of Loma Linda, does the campus offer tours?
Absolutely, we do. Through our Welcome Center, we give tours all the time, both of the medical center and the university. Be happy. Anyone can contact us through the Welcome Center at Loma Linda. We'd be honored to show them what's going on and have them become a partner with us.
Wonderful. And we'll put your web address. I'm sure that's another way folks can learn about Loma Linda.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, may God bless you in what you're doing.
Thank you too, Gannon.
And hopefully can come back and give us updates from time to time.
Be honored to.
Thank you.
Thank you.